All right, hello, 8th grade. So we're going to go over 26A. I told you to do number 6 through 10 for homework. I'm actually going to I'm making this new video so we don't have to go through the whole thing. So we're just going to go through number 6 through 10. This is your homework. I want you to follow along. Okay, so for number 6, remember, the first thing I said is you need to take your first term and multiply it by your last term. 5 times 30 gives you 150. Okay, you need to list all the factors of 150. It won't take as long as you think. You got 1 and 150. If you add or subtract those together, can they get 5? No. So you can already mark that one off. You got 2 and 75. That's not going to work either. You have 3 and 50. Nope. 4 won't go in there. 5 times 30. No. Okay. What about 6? 150 divided by 6. I don't believe that goes. 7. Nope. 8, 9. You can do 10 times 15. Yes, right? Because if we do a positive 15 and a negative 10, won't that equal a positive 5? Yes, it will. Okay. So let's try that one. So I'm going to rewrite, step 2 is I'm going to rewrite my equation. I got 5x to the third, and instead of putting in my plus 5x squared, I'm going to put in my negative 10x squared plus 15x squared minus 30x. Remember, I'm only going to group the first two and the last two. Okay? So I got 5x to the third minus 10x squared. What is common about these? The greatest common factor of 5 and 10 is going to be 5. So I'm going to pull out the 5. It has an x to the third and it has an x squared. Remember, you pull out the smallest x you can, which is x squared. That's going to leave inside my parentheses 5x squared times x would give me that 5x to the third minus 5x squared times 2 would give me that negative 10x squared. Okay. Since it's plus, I'm going to write my plus sign. The other group now I'm going to do is this group right here. So I got 15x squared minus 30x. The greatest common factor of 15 and 30 is going to be 15. So I'm going to pull that out. It also has an x. So I'm going to pull out the smallest x. That leaves me now, okay, with 1x minus 2. These match up, which is exactly what you want to see. Okay. So now that they match up, you're going to factor that out, x minus 2. You only need one of them. So I'm going to factor that out. That stays in the parentheses. And what I have left is 5x squared plus 15x. I'm going to factor this now. So I can pull out a 5 because the greatest common factor of 5 and 15 is 5. I can also pull out an x. So that's going to leave me with x plus 3. Okay. And there's my answer. I just got to put the puzzle now back together. So I'm going to take this, put it here. I'm going to take the extra that I had, the extra 5x, I'm going to put it in front. Okay, and that's my answer, 5x, and then in parentheses, x minus 2, x plus 3. Okay, let's move on to number 7. List the factors. 2 times 5 is 10. So what two numbers can you put together, the factors of 10, that'll equal 11? So we got 1 and 10. That'll equal 11, right? 1 plus 10. You would have had 2 and 5. That wouldn't work. And that's it. So you know it's going to be 1 and 10. So I'm going to rewrite my equation, 2x to the third plus x squared plus 10x squared plus 5x. Let's factor the first group. It only has an x squared in common, so I'm just going to pull out the x squared. That would leave me with 2x plus 1. Okay, if I factor the second group now, it's a plus sign. 10x squared plus 5x, I can pull out a 5. and I can pull out an x. And that would leave me with 2x plus 1. Again, these match up, which is exactly what you want to see. So I'm going to write that as my parentheses, 2x plus 1. Okay, what I have left, I'm going to write it over here, is 5x, x squared plus 5x. Okay, I can factor out an x, and that leaves me with x plus 5. Okay, so I'm just going to put this puzzle back together. Oops. So x, I'm going to write my x out here, and then this was x plus 5. Move that right over here. And there's my answer, x, 2x plus 1, x plus 5. Okay, let's look at number 8. Number 8's not as hard because you only have 2 numbers now. You don't have 3. So you just got to look at the 2 numbers and see what is common about them. 3 and 12. What's the greatest common factor of 3 and 12? It's going to be 3. So I'm going to pull out a 3. They both have an x, so I'm going to take the smallest x. I'm going to factor that. That's going to be 3x times x would give me that 3x squared, subtraction sign. And then this is just going to be 4. I can't do anything else with that. That's the lowest I can go with that. Okay, let's look at number 9. Okay. So again, only 2 numbers, so not as hard. 2 and 18. Greatest common factor of 2 and 18 is going to be 2. Pull that out. They both have x's, so I'm going to take the lowest x, which is just x to the first power. I'm going to factor this. 2x times x squared is going to give me 2x to the third, subtraction. 2x times 9 is going to give me 18. Okay? Remember from lesson 25, what is this? This is the difference, multiplication, I'm sorry, subtraction, the difference of 2 squares. So I can break that down. Okay? So this is going to equal my 2x out front still. It's going to be x plus 3, x minus 3. And there's my answer. All right, number 10, last one we're going to go over right now. Let me erase it. I already did it, but I'm going to do it again if my eraser is working. Okay. So again, you got to think 5 and 25. So you're going to multiply 5 times 25 first. Okay, 5 times 5 is 25. It's 125. What 2 numbers, okay, added together or subtracted together are going to get you to this 20? Okay, so let's list the factors out of 1 and 25. Obviously, we have 1 and 125. That's not going to work. Okay, 2 does not go in there. 3, I don't believe 3, or yes, 3 probably does. Let's see. Nope, 3 will not. 4 will. Okay, so you have 4, and what is that? 125 divided by 4. Oh, no, 4 will not. Okay, I'm sorry, 4 will not. 5 will, though. So you got 5 and 25. Okay, if you add or subtract these together, yes, they will equal a 20. Okay, so let's just start with that because that's probably going to be the answer. So let's see, it's going to be a negative 20, all right? So if we do a negative 25 plus 5, that would be a negative 20, right? So let's rewrite this. We're going to have 5x to the 4th minus 5, I'm sorry, plus, because we got to write plus. So it's going to be plus 5x to the 3rd minus 25x to the 3rd minus 25x squared. Okay, I'm going to factor out the first group only. So I can take out a 5. I can also take out 3 x's. That's going to leave me with x plus 1. Okay, I'm going to do the other side now. And I can take out a 25x squared. Okay, that's going to leave me with x, okay, plus 1. Because negative 25, okay, times, or I'm sorry, negative 25 and a positive, right? So you need a positive number there. So x plus 1, they match up, okay, perfectly. All right, and so now we can factor that out. We got x plus 1. We know that. What we're left with, I'm going to write it over here, is 5x to the third minus 25x squared. If we factor that out, we can factor out the 5, and we can factor out an x squared. That's going to leave me with x minus 5. Okay, so you know my second one's going to be x minus 5. I have the 5x squared left over, so I'm going to put that out front. And there's your answer, 5x squared, and then in parentheses, x plus 1, x minus 5. All right, 6 through 10. We'll take this slow, so I want you to look at these 4. Try to do them in your book as I do them. If you feel daring enough, try to do 11 and 12. Okay, but we'll continue that on Monday.